Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the MetaStellar YouTube channel. My name is Maria KOROLOV. I'm the editor here at MetaStellar. And if you are looking for some free science fiction and fantasy to get you through this weekend, we've got it. This week we have four cozy magical mysteries and a sci-fi space opera with epic space battles and alien invaders and all the good things. So before we get into that, I want to thank editors Melody Friedenthal and E.S. Foster for helping me out today with the reviews. Emma's here today. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
And Lilibet Dominguez Torres has also done a review, but we haven't added it to the article yet. So we're not going to have her review for you, but it will be an article if you click through in the description box below. Okay, so let's get on to book number 5 because we're going to count down from 5 to 1. And let me pull that up for you guys and make it a little bigger so that you can see it. And I'm using a different computer today, so I'm having trouble finding all the buttons. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so Murder's the Witch by Danielle Garrett is the first of 12 books in the Beechwood Harbor Magical Mysteries, a cozy magical mystery series. The other books are $5 each, but they're all in Kindle Unlimited. And the author has been on our Free Friday list before. Kindle Unlimited, if you don't know, is where you pay $12 a month and you read all the books you want that are in Kindle Unlimited. Okay, so as you could tell from the cover and the title and the series title, this is about a witch who solves murder mysteries. So Holly is the witch. She lives with her cat Boots and 4 other supernatural housemates in a 120-year-old house. And when the book opens, it's night, and Holly catches a suspicious man lurking around outside with a flashlight. And there's no reason for him to be there. And she confronts him, and he claims to be a private eye and also someone who leads ghost tours, and he thinks that this house is haunted. And he wants to do a haunted house tour of this house. And she sends him packing because she doesn't want to have like tour groups traipsing through the house where she lives. Then she goes back inside, and we find out that the house is in fact haunted. One of the housemates is in fact a ghost who lives in the attic. Um, so they also have like a werewolf living there and a vampire and somebody else who they don't know what it is. So it's kind of a protected house for supernaturals, which is a good thing for Holly since she's been banished from several supernatural communities, including the nearest one, which is in Seattle, and now has to live in a small town in a human world. But when she's home in this house, she can be herself. During the day, she works at a coffee shop, and she uses a little bit of magic to make those cool frothy designs on top of the lattes because she doesn't know how to make them by hand. And she also uses her job as a cover for selling magical potions. So maybe this is why magical communities keep banishing her, but we don't know yet. I haven't found out yet, so I can't tell you. I haven't read far enough in the book to know. So anyway, the private investigator shows back up at the coffee shop, and his name is Nick, and he's still as annoying and smarmy as he was before. I hate him like immediately, and because he's handsome, I'm really concerned that she and the detective are gonna, the private eye are gonna end up together, because it's always the most annoying characters that turn out to be the love interests. And but there's always a hope she will kill him instead, or that he will die, by some other means. So fingers crossed. Okay, so then what happens next? Um uh oh yeah. So she's got her housemate squabbling, this annoying detective who's following her around, or maybe he's investigating somebody in the house. It's a concern. And also, she finds a dead body behind the coffee shop. So, lots of things that are happening here. I like almost everything about this book except the private eye. He's just too annoying. And now that somebody else has been killed, the likelihood of him dying is decreased. So, I'm unhappy about that because I'd rather see him dead than alive. But maybe he'll grow on me because there's 12 books in the series, And they are in Kindle Unlimited, and I do love the setting, and I do love all the other characters except for Nick. So I might stick with it this weekend. Next, book number 4 on today's bestseller list is Where There's a Witch, There's a Way by Victoria DeLuis. And this is the first of 6 books in the Era Snow Cozy Mystery, which is also a magical cozy mystery series. The other books are $3 each, and they're also all in Kindle Unlimited. And Emma read this book for us. Emma, what do you think of it?
Yeah, so I haven't read a whole lot of cozy mystery, so this one was really interesting. But I honestly enjoyed it. I thought it was really entertaining. So it starts off with Era Snow. She's a witch. She's in her 40s and she's just fresh out of a divorce. She just opened up this spiritual shop in town and she's not having that much luck getting business. But she gets her first customer and she goes over to this elderly woman's house, this customer, to give her her package. But when she goes there, she realizes that the woman is dead. So she finds her body there. She stumbles on the body. She has to call the police. But she hears a voice and she whirls around. She figures out that the dead woman has come back as a ghost. So, like I said, Ava's a witch. She's seen ghosts before. She's not really that freaked out about the ghost, but she's surprised that this one is just randomly talking to her. So the ghost, albeit, talks about her cat the whole time because her cat's missing, and then she disappears when the police arrive. So as she leaves, Era spots the customer's cat. She calls it to her, and so she's gonna go start taking care of her, and I thought that was really sweet and cute. But the ghost, Tanya, is running around, ranting away because the detectives are all talking and they're saying, like, oh, she fell down the stairs and it must have been an accident because you could see that the heel on her shoe is broken. And Tanya's like, no, that didn't happen. I was murdered because I was pushed. So she insists that it's different, and Era tries to explain that to the ghost. She's kind of like, hey, maybe this wasn't an accident. But they brush her off because they're like, there's no way this wasn't an accident. So she's forced to go home with the ghost cat, and then on the way, Tanya the ghost is reunited with her daughter. So from then on, because she kind of starts to take a liking to Tanya and she's very touched by her reunion with her daughter, she decides to figure out who Tanya's killer is. So, like I said, I haven't read too many cozy mysteries, but this one was really funny. I really liked Era's voice and her humor. I also liked how she handled situations despite the craziness around her. And the prose was also really simple and readable. It kind of veered into like telling a few times. I'm sorry. So there was like a lot of exposition in different places, but it was really easy to get invested in the plot. So if you like cozy mystery, I'd recommend you check out the series.
All right, thank you. Okay, so and if that wasn't enough cozy mysteries for you, we have yet another cozy mystery here. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. If I can find the buttons. Here we go. The Casino Witch Mysteries by Nikki Haverstock. This is the first 2 books of the 9-book Casino Witch Mystery series. The rest of the books are $3 to $5 each, and they are not in Kindle Unlimited, so you have to pay money to read them. And the author has been on this list before, and I read these, and this one is set in a casino. Like most cozy magical mysteries are set in a small town, so this is a little bit different. And Ella has just found out that she's a witch. There's a mysterious, mischievous cat who wants to be her familiar, and her new coworker is cranky, but very, very attractive. So very ordinary setup for these kinds of mysteries, except that she works in a casino. So Ella has just moved into her dad's apartment after he was murdered, and she's a freelance financial auditor. And she's working at her desk at the casino, and this giant cat, the size of a medium-sized dog, keeps bothering her and sneaking into her office and bites her. And the casino's owner sees the marks spreading up her arm from where the cat bit her. Ella thinks she's been infected with some kind of poison, but the casino owner knows what's going on here and calls in witnesses, and they do a little ritual. Apparently, Ella is now bonded to this cat, and she finds out that she has magical powers. Apparently, her ability to spot financial fraud isn't just pure professional skill. And the casino sends her home with a cat and a ton of cat supplies. And when she gets home, again, this is her father's old place, she discovers that her father left her a mysterious necklace and also that her new cat hates dry cat food. So I like this premise. I like Ella. I like the fact that she's a financial auditor. I've covered financial technology kind of in my day job, so that's kind of interesting to me. And of course, I love the cat, and I might stick with this. Although the other books aren't in Kindle Unlimited, so I'd have to see how much I like them if I were to stick with the series. Next, we have another book that I read, A Wild Ghost Chase by Elle Adams, the first of 9 books in the Reaper Witch Mystery, a cozy magical mystery series. The other books are $6 each, but they are all in Kindle Unlimited. And the author has been on our Free Friday list before. So again, we have somebody who's a witch. Her name is Maura. At least she knows she's a witch. So she's been a witch all her life. She's actually half witch and half reaper. And she could talk to ghosts and see ghosts, obviously, and banish ghosts. And she's been having problems keeping jobs, both in the human world and kind of in the magical communities. And she has a bit of a reputation in the magical community. And she's haunted by her twin brother who died 8 years ago. And he's really, really annoying and causes havoc for her at her jobs. And so she's just been fired from yet another job. She worked at a morgue. And she kind of needs money. She has to pay rent. So she's running out of career options. And then she gets an email. Somebody wants her to come and banish a ghost. And the gig is in a magical community. So she gets on her broom, casts a spell to hide herself, a camouflage spell, and she flies off. And when she gets to the town, she discovers it's a really, really creepy town, and it is absolutely full of ghosts. There's more ghosts than people, which is kind of weird because Reapers are supposed to keep the ghost population to a manageable level, and the town has a Reaper who's not doing his job. And she also meets her customer, who turns out to be a teenage girl with a ghost blog. And the reason that she hired Maura was that a woman who lives in an old house died a week ago, and the teenager found her body, and she thinks that the woman is still haunting the house and wants to get it on camera. Which is kind of weird. Like, why would the teenager pay for somebody to come and banish this ghost? Why would a teenager have that money? But anyway, that's not explained. So they go into this house and they hear the ghost, but they don't see it. And then the detective investigating the death shows up and chases them out because they're trespassing. So Maura and the girl go to the inn where the girl lives. Her mother owns the inn. And she meets a couple of other people in the town, finds that the local Reaper isn't doing his job, goes to see the Reaper. The Reaper claims to be retired, but he doesn't have an apprentice to take over. And she considers calling the Reaper Council and having them straighten this mess out, but she's not on good terms with the council. So she goes back to the inn, has dinner. The mother offers her room for the night. She has a nap. And then she and the girl go back to the haunted house to try again. Hopefully in the middle of the night when the detective isn't there. But the detective is there again, staking it out, thinking that they're going to come back. And he chases them away again. So I don't know how I feel about this book. I do like the magical setting and the world building. But Maura seems to be like kind of disorganized, and her brother is really annoying. But I am getting caught up in the story. Was the woman who died really murdered, or was it an accident, like people think? Why is the town full of ghosts? What does the Reaper Council have against Maura? I want to know these things, so I might stick with this book this weekend. Okay, now before we go on to book number 1 on today's free science fiction and fantasy bestseller list, I want to thank our Patreon supporters. And we have a new person today supporting us. But her name yes, here's her name, Elizabeth Levin. Thank you, Elizabeth. We really appreciate it. So the donations that come from our Patreon supporters go to pay for original fiction on the MetaStellar website. All of us editors are volunteers. All your money goes to pay for original fiction. And we publish short stories every single week. And we put out one anthology of short stories every year. And if you don't want to miss any of that, subscribe to our newsletter. The link is in the description box below. And I want to point out that Emma is a professional editor, and she has an editorial services agency, and I am an author, and you can get my books on Amazon. And all those links are in the description box below as well. And now let's go on to book number 1 on today's free science fiction and fantasy bestseller list. It is The Oldest Starfighter by Jamie McFarlane, which is the first and so far the only book in the Oldest Starfighter military sci-fi series. But from the description, it looks like it's going to be a longer series. And Melody Friedenthal read this for us, but Melody can't make today's taping, so Emma is going to read it for us. Emma, what did Melody think of the book?
So she had some mixed feelings about it, actually. She says the book starts out with Gordon. He's taking a nap, but he's interrupted by this 7-foot tall man knocking at his door. So the stranger, Corsic is his name, says these words, this phrase, "I'm from the government and we need your help." So apparently, according to this review, this is supposed to mean something very big and important, but Gordon isn't interested. He's like, "I don't really care. If you could please go away. I'm trying to mind my own business, you know." But Corsic offers Gordon $1,000 to listen to what he has to say. He also says that he has a gold device that will make Gordon forget their conversation if he's uninterested in the offer. Gordon's skeptical about the whole thing, but Corsic goes on. He tells Gordon that he's recruiting starfighters for the Obsidian Union, which is a NATO-type organization, and it takes place through multiple planets. Gordon doesn't believe a word this guy's saying. He tells him to leave, and he isn't polite in saying so. But it turns out that Gordon is a retired military pilot, and he has exactly the skills that Corsic is looking for, despite Gordon's poor physical shape. So Corsic tells Gordon that Earth is a target for takeover by unfriendly species who want Earth for themselves. He also takes off his human clothes. He shows Gordon that he is actually 9 feet tall with a horned head. So as if being 7 foot tall wasn't scary enough, then he happens to actually look like an alien. So this convinces Gordon. But what really convinces Gordon to sign up is Corsic telling him that the other recruits, one of them is a rival of Gordon's, and it's this guy named Hoop Hamilton. So Melody says that she's sure they'll be seeing more of that character. Corsic also tells Gordon to make sure that the next alien to show up shows him one of the gold devices as proof of which side they're on. So Gordon spends the next few days tying up loose ends, financial, relationship-wise. He's also visited by his ex-wife, said there's another female alien, there's a female alien that shows up. She's gonna be like his companion, and Melody says this is where it kind of feels like it's been written by a man, you know? But she says so far the book has given her a sense of anticipation. The first few chapters contain several humorous lines. She really enjoyed it, so she says it's so far so good. And time permitting, she's willing to read more, and she recommends it if you're into military sci-fi.
All right, thank you. I am into military sci-fi, so I might check that out instead of some of the cozy mysteries. Although I also do like cozy mysteries, but I like military sci-fi more. So if you guys out there watching this plan to read any of these books, or if you have read them, let us know what you think in the comments. And if you don't want to miss any of these reviews, like and subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support our channel and to support MetaStellar, the publication. So we really appreciate you joining us today. And thank you, Emma, for being here and helping out. And we'll see you next Friday.
Thanks, bye.
And if you want more from MetaStellar, check out these two videos. We are serializing the novel Gods and Monsters by award-winning author and artist E.E. King. And we have an interview with the author and the first chapter where she's reading from the book. In fact, she's reading the whole book for us in installments on our YouTube channel. We're up to installment, I think, 24 right now. So check these out. Thanks, everybody. See you next Friday. Bye-bye.